Everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be going through PSLE 2024 question number 37. So this is the freezing point and boiling point of three substances that is being given. So the freezing point is also the same as the melting point. They occur at the same temperature. They are the same. Okay, so you are given three substances, different freezing point and different boiling point. Then the first question straight away asks you what is freezing. What freezing means? This is actually a definition question. Definition. So for this, right, to really define it correctly, right, so first you have to consider a few things in this case. So you can consider what is the change of states, to properly define. So the change of state is from liquid to solid. Then number two, the heat transfer. In this way I'm saying that is it for freezing, right, is it gaining heat or losing heat? In this case, the liquid must have loose heat to become a solid. So this is loose heat. And lastly, does it occur at a fixed or any temperature? So in this case, it is a fixed temperature, not any temperature. So once you have these key ideas, right, it's easy for you to put into sentences. So in this way, I'll write it in this way. So liquid, solid, the change of state loses heat. It loses heat at a fixed temperature. So these are the key ideas behind them. Lose heat and change of state. So if you came across with other definition that asks you to define evaporation, boiling and melting, you can actually refer back to this table. So I put it nicely in the form of what is the change of state, what is the heat transfer and occurring whether at fixed or any temperature. So in this case, freezing will be this. Liquid to solid, lose heat, fixed temperature. Melting will be solid to liquid, gain heat at also a fixed temperature. Evaporation and boiling, they are mostly the same. Liquid gain heat to become a gas, but evaporation is at any temperature, boiling is at a fixed temperature. So this is like a guide that you can use, right, when you're writing the definition of freezing. So let's move on to part B. Mei has a container of volume 100 centimeter cube. She stores 150 centimeter cube of a substance in the container at 30 degrees. So state which substance PQR she stored in the container. Explain your answer. So before you go into this, you have to notice the container is 100. She want to store 150. So she want to store more than what the container can occupy. So that means this is what you have a container of 100 centimeter cube, 100 centimeter cube. You want to put 150. You want to store more than what the container can occupy. Alright, in this case, so the only state that can allow this to happen is a state that has no definite volume. And in this case, we need to choose a gas. Because gas has no definite volume, that's why you can put 150 centimeter cube of gas into 100 centimeter cube of container. So no definite volume. Basically this question is asking you to compress something of a larger volume into a smaller container. Can be compressed. And they give you a specific temperature, 30 degrees. So in this case, you have to check which substance is a gas at 30 degrees. So this is one way to do it. So I can draw a temperature line across all, temperature line. Then this will be my marking, 50, 80 and 300. Below 0, 6 and 50, these are my marking point. So that means any numbers, right, that fall, or rather if 30 fall here, right, it means that this substance is a solid. If 30 fall here, this substance is a liquid. If 30 fall here, this substance is a gas. That is how we can use the temperature line to help us. So the smaller number will be from here, smaller number. Then this is the larger number. So this is like a number line, but we use it for identifying whether is it solid, liquid or gases based on the freezing and the boiling point. Larger number. So 30 is greater than 15, so it should be somewhere here. So this is 30 degrees. So straight away we know that P is a gas. P is a gas. P is a gas. Okay, so let's check for the rest. Q 30 is the green color zone. 6, 30, 80, right? So 30, that means the Q, right, is a liquid. Q is liquid. At 30 degree, Q is liquid. Then lastly, for R, right, 30 is here, below 50, right? So that means R is a solid, okay, at 30 degrees. So the answer is very straightforward. We can only choose P because at 30 degrees, P is a gas. And P will not have definite volume. It can be compressed into a smaller container. So let's try to answer this part. So the choice is P. Then the evidence is using the table. Okay, so directly straight away quote at 30 degrees, P is in a gaseous state or P is a gas. Okay, so reasoning applying the gas property to this scenario, which is storing a bigger item into a smaller container. So since gases has no definite volume, okay, the 100 centimeter cube of gas P can be compressed into a smaller container of 100 centimeter cube, or you can write it in this way. Okay, 100 centimeter cube of gas P has no definite volume and can be compressed into a smaller container of 100 centimeter cube. So both ways are fine. Okay, on this portion. So this is actually quite a difficult question because you need to know that to store a bigger item into a smaller container, you need to identify that it must be a gas. And then using the table from there, you have to find out which one is a gas at 30 degrees. Okay, next up is maybe it has a plastic tray as shown. There are gaps in the tray. So state if she can store Q in the tray of Q in a tray at 30 degrees. Explain your answer. So Q at 30 degree it is a liquid. So chances are when you pour liquid over here, right, it will just flow through the gap. So you cannot store them. Okay, because Q being a liquid has no definite shape. The property that is applied here is no definite shape, not no definite volume. Because it has no definite shape, it will just flow through the gap. The plastic tray cannot contain it. Okay, so no. Okay, the evidence is that at 30, Q is in a liquid state or Q is liquid. The reasoning is which does not have a definite shape and will flow through the gap. That's why you cannot contain it. So with that, this is more or less for this question. Okay, thank you very much.